All right, today we are going to read Snowed Under by Homework. This is also a play out of our Fabulously Funny Idiom Plays. Robbie sits with his back against a wall, writing frantically in a notebook. Dan and Duncan enter. Dan says, "This is more rain than I've ever seen." Duncan says, "It's really raining cats and dogs." Dan says, "Robbie, what are you doing?" And Duncan says, "Are you doing homework? It's recess." Robbie says, "I have to get this report done or Mrs. G is going to keep me after school." Duncan says, "But dude, it's recess." And Dan says, "Yeah, take a break." Robbie says, "I can't. This is the report that I was supposed to have to hand in this morning. It's already late." Dan says, "You were late with an assignment? You're the only person I know who's never late." Duncan, "And besides, it's recess." Robbie says, "I didn't mean to be late. I just have been snowed under lately." Dan says, "You must really have a lot to do if you are late with your report." Robbie says, I get it. Now, will you please leave me alone so I can get this done?" Dan says, "Wow, now I don't feel so bad for not doing my homework last night." And Duncan says, "But you almost never do your homework." And Dan says, "You just be quiet. This isn't about me. This is about Robbie." Duncan says, "I'm just saying that I did my homework." Dan says, "This isn't about you either. Like I said, this is about Robbie." Robbie says, "This doesn't have to be about you, me, or anyone. I'm just trying to finish this. So will you please leave me alone?" Duncan says, "But it's recess." Dan says, "Duncan's right, Robbie. It is recess." And Duncan says, "This is kickball time." And Robbie says, "Considering that it's pouring outside and considering that they aren't even going to let us out, I think it's a good time as any to finish my report, don't you?" And Dan says, "Come on, Robbie, you're just having a dry spell." Duncan says, "Yeah, you shouldn't get so upset that you skip recess." And Robbie says, "It's raining and it's only once in a blue moon that recess is canceled. Since it doesn't happen often at all, I need to take this chance to get this report done. So please." Dan says, "Wow, you're really worried." And Robbie says, "Yes, I'm really worried." Dan says, "Oh, come on. This is just a tempest in a teapot. Nothing to worry about at all." Robbie says, "You don't think?" And Dan says, "Not at all." Duncan says, "At least not enough to skip recess." Dan says, "Exactly. What's the report about?" Robbie says, "Colonial America." Dan says, "Colonial America?" And Robbie says, "Yeah." Duncan says, "Uh-oh." Robbie says, "What do you mean, uh-oh?" Dan says, "Nothing. Don't listen to Duncan. He's just not good at history." Duncan says, "Hey." And Dan says, "I think you should let us help you." Duncan says, "But it's recess." And Dan says, "Robbie needs our help, so we should help him." Robbie says, "I knew when I chose to do my report on colonial America, I was in for rough weather." Dan says, "Fear not. You've got it made in the shade because Duncan and I are going to help you." Robbie says, "Really?" And Duncan says, "And Miss Recess?" Dan says, "Yes, really." Robbie says, "You would do that for me?" And Dan says, "That's right. What are friends for?" Robbie says, "Wow, thank you guys. I really appreciate this." And Dan says, "No trouble." Robbie says, "Okay, where I'm having the trouble is Jamestown Colony." Duncan says, "Hey, Dan, it stopped raining." Dan says, "I never seen the sun come out so fast." And Robbie says, "You're still going to help me, right?" Dan says, "Sorry, Robbie, we can't. Big kickball tournament, you know." Duncan says, "Yay, recess." Dan and Duncan exit. Robbie yelling, "You guys are just fair weather friends. Now, there's no way I'm getting this done.